journeys are undertaken simply to see places. Some journeys are undertaken to discover history. And some journeys become special because they bring together faith, friendship, discovery, and unforgettable moments. Our Kanchi Temple Yatra was one such journey. The idea for this pilgrimage came from our tour planner and fellow traveler Revati Amma, who suggested that we explore some of the lesser known ancient temples around Kanchipuram. And so, on 8 August 2026, five of us, Gunsekharan, Ravindranath, Selvi, Revati, and Kala, set out on a one-day spiritual journey titled A Day of Divine Grace. Our journey began at 5:30 in the morning from our apartment complex. Before starting, we sought the blessings of Lord Vinayaka at the temple in our complex. And with prayers in our hearts and anticipation in our minds, we began our journey. The journey begins. The early morning was pleasant and cloudy. The freshness left behind by the previous night's rain made the drive particularly enjoyable. As the car moved through the quiet roads, the first rays of sunlight slowly appeared through the trees. There was something peaceful about the morning. It felt as though nature itself was accompanying us on our pilgrimage. At around 7:15 a.m., we reached Nitya Amritam in Kanchipuram. A hearty breakfast refreshed us, and we were ready for the first chapter of our temple journey. 1. Kurangalmuttam Velishwara Temple. Our first destination was the ancient Kurangalmuttam Velishwara Temple. This quiet temple, believed to date back to the Pallava period, is associated with a fascinating legend involving three powerful figures, Vali, Indra, and Yama. According to tradition, they were cursed to take the forms of animals. They came to this sacred place and worshipped Lord Shiva, seeking liberation from their curses. The very name of the place recalls this unusual legend. The temple is also an important example of the early architectural traditions of the region, with its ancient stonework and inscriptions. Standing before these centuries-old structures, we could not help but wonder how many generations of devotees had walked through these very spaces before us. Our first darshan had set the tone for the day. We were now ready for the next destination. 2. Tirumakaleshwara Temple, Magaral Visuals Temple Entrance, Rajgopuram Sanctum Sculptures Group. Our next stop was Arulmigu Tirumakaleshwara Temple at Magaral, another fascinating treasure of Tamil spiritual heritage. The temple is traditionally associated with an extraordinary legend involving a golden monitor lizard, the Megaral or Udumbu. According to local tradition, a king once chased a golden lizard which disappeared into an anthill. When the mound was opened, a Shiva lingam was discovered. The lingam is said to bear a distinctive form resembling the tail of a lizard and lean slightly to one side. This remarkable legend is believed to be the origin of the name Magaral and of the deity Makaralishwarar. The temple also has an impressive Gaja Prishta Vimanam, whose shape resembles the back of a resting elephant. Ancient inscriptions and the traditional architecture further reveal the historical depth of this sacred place. But our visit here gave us something beyond history and architecture. As we were leaving, we met a devotee couple. The wife was a Bharatanatyam exponent with a PhD in the subject and ran her own dance school. Her husband, a former athlete, was recovering from injuries sustained in an accident. What touched us most was the affection between them. The husband's words about his wife were filled with such genuine warmth and admiration. We left the temple carrying with us another kind of blessing, a beautiful reminder of faith, resilience, and love. 3. Sri Manikandeshwara Temple, Tirumarperu. Our third destination was Sri Manikandeshwara Temple at Tirumarperu, also known as Tirumalpur. This temple is particularly special because its legend beautifully connects Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. According to tradition, Vishnu came here to worship Shiva and regain the power of his Sudarshana Chakra. He worshipped Shiva with 1,000 lotus flowers every day. One day, Shiva removed one of the flowers to test Vishnu's devotion. Finding only 999 flowers, Vishnu offered one of his own eyes in place of the missing lotus. Moved by the supreme devotion, Shiva restored Vishnu's eye and returned the Sudarshana Chakra to him. This story gives the temple its name and also beautifully symbolizes the harmony between Shaiva and Vaishnava traditions. One of the most interesting features here is the representation of Vishnu worshipping Shiva. The temple's traditional Dravidian architecture, Rajgopuram, and ancient inscriptions add to its historical importance. For us, this was not merely another temple visit. It was a reminder that devotion can transcend differences and bring different traditions together. 4. Tirupanangadu, Thalapurishwara Temple. Our next destination was Tirupanangadu, home to the ancient Thalapurishwara temple, praised in the Tevaram hymns of the revered Saint Sundarar. The temple has a beautiful legend associated with Sundarar. According to tradition, while traveling with his followers, Sundara became tired and hungry. Lord Shiva is believed to have appeared before him in the form of an old man and served food to the group. When Sundarar asked for water, the old man created a spring of sweet water. And then, as mysteriously as he had appeared, he disappeared. The spring associated with this legend is still remembered today. The temple also has several unusual features. There are two prominent Shiva shrines and two Ambal shrines, each with its own Nandi facing the respective deity. The architecture and sculptures make this temple particularly interesting. But for us, the most memorable part of the visit was perhaps the hospitality of the temple priest. Although the temple normally closes around noon, the priest kindly kept it open for us. He patiently performed pujas in the inner sanctums with deep devotion and sincerity. He also explained the history and significance of the temple in detail. Our heartfelt thanks to him. And a special word of appreciation to Revati Amma, who coordinated with the temple and ensured that we could have darshan without disappointment. It was a wonderful example of how thoughtful planning can make a journey even more meaningful. Lunch and an unexpected afternoon break. By the time we completed our darshan, it was around 1 p.m. and hunger had begun to make its presence felt, especially for Selvi Amma. So we headed towards Cheyar in search of lunch. After about 50 minutes, we reached New Krishna Vilas opposite the Cheyar bus station. The restaurant looked quite ordinary, but appearances can sometimes be deceptive. The meals were simple, fresh, and surprisingly delicious. And the bill was even more surprising, just 370 rupees for all five of us, including a 30 rupees tip. A memorable lunch at a remarkably modest price. Our next destination was Vedapurishwarar temple, only about 5 minutes away. But there was one small problem. The temple would open only at 4 p.m. So we had more than 2 hours to spare. And then, as if by divine arrangement, Selvi Amma spotted a shady place beneath some trees in a nearby school ground. It looked perfect for an afternoon break. A shawl was spread under the tree. Everyone found a comfortable place to relax, and what began as a quiet afternoon rest soon turned into something much more entertaining. The ladies started an Antakshari session. Guna sir, after getting enough rest, joined them. I preferred the role of the spectator and, of course, the cameraman. Those few hours of simple laughter, music, and friendship became one of the most enjoyable memories of our journey. At around 3:40 p.m., we packed up and entered the temple. Exactly at 4 p.m., the doors opened, and we were ready for our next spiritual experience. 5. SRE Vedapurishwara Temple, Tiruvotur. The ancient Sri Vedpurishwara temple at Tiruvotur, now known as Cheyar, stands on the northern bank of the Cheyar river. It is one of the revered Padal Petra Sthalams celebrated in the Tevaram tradition. The temple has a long history with inscriptions associated with several Chola rulers. Its name is connected with the belief that Lord Shiva imparted the knowledge of the Vedas to sages at this sacred place. But perhaps the most famous legend associated with the temple is the story of the palm trees. According to tradition, when a dispute arose concerning male and female palm trees, the saint Tirugnan Sambandha visited the temple because through his divine powers, the male palm trees were transformed into female trees capable of bearing fruit. The temple also has several unusual features. One of them is the separate shrine of goddess Balagujambikai. Her shrine has its own flagstaff, offering altar and lion mount. The goddess is depicted standing and facing south. The entrance is guarded by two female Dwara Palakis, Jaya and Vijaya. Inside the temple, we also find Ganesha, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and several other deities. The temple's architecture, legends, and unique iconography make it a fascinating place to visit. By now, we had completed five remarkable temples, but our pilgrimage still had one final stop. 6. Chitragupta Temple, Kanchipuram. Our final destination was the unique Chitragupta Temple in Kanchipuram. Unlike the grand temple complexes for which Kanchipuram is famous, this is a relatively modest shrine, but its significance is quite extraordinary. The temple is dedicated to Chitragupta, the divine accountant associated with Yama. According to Hindu tradition, Chitragupta maintains a record of the deeds of every individual, both good and bad. Inside the sanctum, he is represented holding a pen and document symbolizing this eternal record of human actions. The message is simple yet profound. Every action matters. Every thought, every deed, and every choice carries a consequence. The temple is particularly associated with Chitra Purnami when large numbers of devotees visit the shrine. Standing before Chitragupta, our final temple of the day, we felt that our journey had come full circle. We had started the morning seeking divine blessings, and we were ending the day with a reminder about dharma, responsibility, and accountability. The journey home. With the final darshan completed, our day of divine grace had truly become a day of blessed divine grace. After such a spiritually fulfilling day, we returned to Nitya Amritam and enjoyed a delicious dinner. Then came one final Kanchipuram experience, silk shopping. We stopped at Prakash Silks, one of the well known establishments associated with the city's famous Kanchipuram silk tradition. We did a little shopping before beginning our return journey. And just as we set off, the rain began. It felt almost like nature itself was giving us a final blessing. The rain made the journey longer, but the cool breeze and the beautiful night conclusion Temple Yatra was much more than a temple tour. It was a journey through history, mythology, architecture, and devotion. But above all, it was a journey of friendship and togetherness. From the early morning prayers to the ancient temple legends, from an unexpectedly delicious 370 rupees lunch to a relaxing afternoon under the trees, from antakshari and laughter to the sincere hospitality of temple priests, and finally, the rain that accompanied us on our journey home, every moment added something special to the day. We began with five travelers. We returned with countless memories. And perhaps that is the real blessing of a journey like this. Places may remain behind us, but the memories travel with us. A note of gratitude. My heartfelt thanks to Guna Sekharan, Selvi Amma, Revati Amma, and Kala Amma for making this journey so enjoyable and memorable. A special thanks to Revati Amma, whose thoughtful idea and careful coordination made this temple yatra possible. Our sincere gratitude also goes to the temple priests who welcomed us, performed the pujas, and shared the stories and traditions associated with these sacred places. And finally, thank you to everyone who has taken the time to watch this travelogue. I hope these images and stories